What's up, guys? I was asked to talk a little bit about what I do, how I do it. So I thought it might be useful to throw out some videos for anybody who's interested in understanding a little bit more about the work that we actually do, people like myself actually do. And I hope it'll be useful for you. I get a lot of people that come to me with depression. Usually they've been going to a psychologist for a very long time, months, years. And, you know, when they come to see me, usually within one session, it's finished. You know, it doesn't matter how long they've been in that state. Usually within one session, it's over. And, you know, it's interesting. One of the things that I've actually noticed about the people who come to me, especially if they have depression, okay, is that all these guys have something in common. You know, I've observed that the majority of people either live in the past or they live in the future, okay? And people seldom live in the present. Now, I'll talk a little bit about the past. When somebody, a client that comes to me usually with depression, usually lives in the past, that is, they spend a lot of time there. It's usually something that happened, something that they went through, something that somebody said, something that's caused them to be the way that they are, to be going through what they're going through. And as a result of that, they develop depression, you know. But as I said, what they all seem to have in common is the fact that it's something that's come from the past. Now, when I'm dealing with somebody with anxiety or panic syndrome, these types of things, usually it's a person that lives in the future. What do I mean by that? You know, it's somebody who is worried about tomorrow. What if this doesn't work out? What if that happens? And so on and so forth. So they get themselves twisted up over things that may or may not happen. So that's the first thing that I look at when I'm treating people like that. Now, there is another space called the present, which it's interesting. When we say the present is pretty vague. You know, we're in what? 2019. I mean, that's the present. You know, this is the month of July. We're coming to the end of July. That's even more present, right? Today is Monday, where I'm at, on my side of the world. Today's Monday. Monday is more present still. And even more present would be this time. I mean, here it's now 2:30 in the afternoon, and that's even more present than just 2019. There is a space, however, that is even more present than all of that, and that is now, right now. And the interesting thing, I mean, you know, there have been books written about the consequences, the power, the thoughts, the ramifications of now. And the material is out there. But when we think about the now, you know, if you really just stop to think about right now, this moment, one of the things you're going to discover is that now, you have no problems in the now, right now. If I ask you if you have any challenges, anything wrong, any problems, the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to look back. You're going to look back in the past, something that happened earlier on, something that happened yesterday, and this is where all the problems exist, right? So when I'm dealing with people with depression, usually it's a case of getting them out of that state of past and bring them into the now, right? Or if it's somebody with anxiety or panic syndrome or something like that, it's a case of bringing them into the now. And when I bring them into the now, I mean, they're fully focused, 100% focused in the now. That's where I can begin doing what I do in order to get them free from that. So that's a little bit about what I do. So anybody out there who is going through depression, you're down, you're anxious, you've got panic syndrome, you're bitter, don't forgive easily, I don't know, you know, just take a moment to think about where it is that you actually spend a lot of your time. You're going to discover that either you're living in the past, you live in the future. Most people tend to skip from past to future. From time to time, they might even be in the now for a while, or in the present. Really rarely in the now. I mean, that's extremely rare. So when you stop to think about that, okay, when you're going through any of these types of emotions, okay, when you're feeling bad, you ask yourself the question, what is the problem right now? Just take a deep breath and think about the now. And then you start from there. That will be the beginning of the solution. All right? I hope the information was useful.